I think we purchased this in 2004. I've been looking for property for a few years. Just I would drive around and look, and I drive through the country. And anyway, one day I found this and got to inquiring about it. And since I'm retired, I can come out here and stay out of my wife's hair, and that works mutually for us. It was covered with invasives, which presented a nice, interesting challenge. Got some good help from soil and water people to help work through that, and I'm still doing that. And it's been my father was a farmer, and his father before him was a farmer. So I'm used to the land, and he was a conservationist also. So you get something, and if it needs work, you make it better. And I've learned an awful lot about the environment and about conservation since I've got here. I mean, I came off a farm where we were mostly crops there, and now this is something different. It's on a lot of slopes, so you're concerned about erosion. I've done some water bars on the trails, try to keep from having some erosion. And I've just learned a lot from Forestry Department, the soil and water people. Started attending their meetings, and it's been a good learning experience. First we started with the pasture. It was just a mess. The autumn olive were practically big trees on it. They had gotten so big. So after that, I went to work on the multiflora rose and the autumn olive that was in the woods. We've got a pond on there back here that we're getting ready to kind of dredge the pond and increase the size of it a little bit, and try to improve that for wildlife. I'm out here just about every day working with this piece of property and not just in fighting invasives, but enjoying it. Walking on it. I've got a lot of old timber trails that I keep cleared up. I check on the pond, just try to make sure that it's in good health and keep an eye on it. If you don't try to improve something, it can get away from you. I think there's something you can do to improve anything that you're involved with. This is my favorite spot right here on this porch. I love being in the woods, but it's kind of nice to sit here and relax and regroup. Either by myself, which is at the end of the day, a lot of times I'll sit here, or with friends, and it's tackling the invasives. But it's amazing. You can see your accomplishment. When you see a nice clean area of a wood, and it takes about 3 years of work when you're working with invasives to get them really beat down, and they're never totally beat down because they will come back. So it's an ongoing battle, but the rewards are great to see a good clean forest, and where the undergrowth is more trees and not invasives. It's the autumn olive. It is one tough cookie, but we keep battling. So, but the multiflora rose and the bush honeysuckle are the three that I deal with the most. And but the autumn olive, it somehow it must be the right soil for it here, because it wants to take over. It's the first to come out and the last to go. So its growing season is a lot longer than everything else's. So yes, everything out here is that we have is in classified forest, and every 5 years we have they come and do a walk around, and you can either let them do it on their own or you go with them. I always go with them because I'm going to learn something. Ralph Ingersoll, has been there ever since we got here, and he knows his stuff, and it's just always good to talk and walk with somebody in your woods about what's, you can ask questions. You got, there may be some tree that you haven't quite figured out yet that they can go, oh yeah, that's such and such. Yeah, it's always good to talk to the pros about what's out there. Being a farmer, you always, you harvest things because it's a renewable resource. I mean, there's nothing wrong with harvesting timber as long as you do it, use best practices, and then then getting rid of the invasives is one of the things you want to do ahead of a harvest so it doesn't get away from you whenever after the harvest. And everybody likes their wood furniture and their cabinets and their couches and their nice dressers and all that, and that's good. Building, they want new homes, and so it is a renewable resource, and it's part of the economy, and it's part of Indiana's economy, a big part. But it's just been a pleasure, and it's been a good retirement program for me to have something to do with myself that's getting some things done. I would just say get involved because it's great to get outdoors.